Hello, everybody. Welcome to 321 No Kidding. I am Bobbie the Awesome, and we are on day 6 of the Dry January mini podcast series. Today, I want to talk to you about non-alcoholic drinks being for non-alcoholics. This is something that comes up whenever there's conversation about this whole industry and movement with non-alcoholic beverages. And the reason it hits a sore spot with me is because of recovery in general, and because now I'm seeing people who are using non-alcoholic and functional drinks as a resource and a tool to stay sober. And the more that this philosophy of non-alcoholic drinks are just for non-alcoholics spreads, and what it is, it's a I think of it as cult culture, quite honestly. They're programmed, they're like little soldiers in this ecosystem to go around and say that. Now, the intention behind it is amazing. I want to let people know that a taste, a flavor, a smell can be triggering. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. What about the whole picture, though? What about it not being about the drink? What about it being about the numbing, the escaping, the buzz, the blacking out, the not wanting to deal with what's going on? What if it's about all that? That might be why we drink alcohol, so we don't have to deal. Somebody called it emotional issues. People drink to deal with their emotional issues. Sure. So this programming is in the best interest of everyone. That's what how it comes across. But I'm going to challenge it, and here's why. The whole 12-step culture is you go in a room, and my spiritual side is going to come out here a little bit. You go in a room full of your peers, not experts, but peers. They're experts based on maybe time or the amount of work they put in or how many sponsees they have or their own life experiences. So they can be experts in that way. I won't take that away. But basically there's no it's not set up for feedback or challenging people to think a little different. It's very rigid, and here's the quotes, here's the mantras, here's the slogans, which are all open to interpretation, right? Most of them are open to interpretation. There's a lot of good stories you can learn from in the rooms, all of that. But at the end of the day, you're sitting in a room and you're saying, I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. What does your brain do? What does your subconscious do? It believes you're an alcoholic. What if instead of you being an alcoholic, you're a person who had struggled with alcohol? What if clinically, I think they call it a problem drinking disorder? What if you're a person first? Your whole identity is not that you're a freaking alcoholic. What if you're a beautiful, amazing person who hasn't had the right tools in their toolbox to work through the grief, the pain, the trauma, the misery of your life to get past the past and work towards the future? Because that's not what we're talking about in these rooms. The general thing is about like almost living in it. Yeah, they say no war stories, but the war stories are don't celebrate, oh, I got so hammered, I did the thing. But you can talk about all the stuff. Now, maybe you're processing pain. Maybe, and everybody's experience is different. I'm talking really overarching views here. And I don't normally talk about this stuff because if you want to go to a 12-step meeting and it works for you and it keeps you sober, I'm all for it. What I'm not for is living in those rooms year after year after year. And you could say your life is changing because you're sober and you're present. But if you like move the needle on your life, Are you still living status quo? Are you going after the things you want? The promotion, the job? What are you doing? Is your life so centered around hanging out in I'm an alcoholic mode, or I'm a gambling addict mode, or I'm a whatever the mode is for you? Or are you going, okay, I'm a beautiful person. I removed the addictive behavior from my life, the actual act of doing it, ingesting it, whatever that is. Now that that's gone, ooh, what door did that open for me? Can I go watch a sunset? Do I have money now to treat myself to a great vacation and experience? What does it look like? What is your recovery giving you? What's the point of doing it if you're going to stay in cycles that just keep you in cycles but aren't lighting you up? I'm all about being freaking lit up, guys. You know how I get in my highest vibration? One of my biggest self-care acts or things that I do, other than like dancing around the store to Blue October music, is being at a Blue October concert. It's a treat because I've invested 60 to a couple $100 to go see them. They're worth millions, by the way. I want to pay them immensely when I hire them in the future concepts. But I get to be present and in the zone. And yeah, the lead singer talks about the past and his addiction and whatever, but he doesn't talk about it in hanging out there, just how bad it is. He might give you a clip of that to help you understand. But his communication style about like, I'm living my best freaking life. I literally get to do a job I love every single day. I get to meet and help people. And it's this whole other cycle of fulfillment. Why are we here if we're not fulfilled? Do we want to be empty shells? Getting up, going to work, do the thing. No. Don't you want to see the spark in the kiddo's eyes when they're playing with you, or you're completely in their full attention? Don't you want to remember the conversations you have with the teenager after they break up from their first love? Don't you want to be, and maybe you don't, maybe you don't. I that in fairness, maybe you don't want any of those things. But what do you want? And how does alcohol or addiction fit into what you want? Because here's the thing, you're not giving up alcohol, gambling, sugar, cigarettes, uh, all the things. You're not giving up any addictive behavior that if you missed it, it doesn't define you. It does not define you. It's a behavior. It's a coping mechanism. If you give that up, what do you want to move for? You're not giving up anything. You're opening all these doors to all these opportunities. And it's quite amazing. One last thing before I go. I think of it as I love to travel. I don't know if you guys love to travel. The car time is my other favorite place. Like if I want to get in high vibration, I'm thinking about front row in front of Justin, the music, how it feels so good, his stories. But traveling to the car time, just kind of getting to be by myself and happy and all of that. I feel like I will never have enough time in this lifetime, even though I'm sober, to get to all the places to explore all the things I want. Just to do the one state or city you live in, do you know how many treasures are there? If you're using, you probably don't know how many treasures are there. You probably don't know how all the cool people you could meet, or all the pretty flowers you could smell, or all the cool architecture you could see. So I invite you to think about that, and not just not just the identity of being an alcoholic or an addict. Bad language, bad language. And when the clinical profession uses it in the case notes and stuff, like you're literally reinforcing the whole keep them in addict status. Like, let's not do that. Let's all be beautiful people in the awesome army and do the things we want to do, live our best life. I love you, beautiful people.